Excuse me. Can I quit this podcast?
I told Eddie Murphy to stay in college so he'd have something to fall back on. I get great advice.
I'm not even going to try to get a word in edgewise and start this show because somebody has issues that he needs to get off his chest.
Go.
No, first time. Welcome to Stand Up.
Are we on yet?
Oh, we're on.
Yeah, we're on.
Oh.
Welcome to Stand Up Memories.
Well, I'm supposed to interrupt you.
Yeah, you did.
I forgot.
I'm Peter Bales. This is Jackie the Joke Man.
I trust that we played that same introduction.
Yes, that you love so
the
much.
thing with you and Murphy.
That's me and Eddie Murphy and
God,
you laughing. All right.
We got a return guest, and he had to sit through that.
Now,
Wow.
This is a great friend of Stand Up Memories podcast, Mr. Eric Haft.
Thank you.
Yay!
Comedian
Oh.
extraordinaire.
Speaking,
Thank you for rejoining us.
Eddie Murphy told that story. I just heard it today. The story about they told him to, you know, if you're going to be blue, you'll never be famous. Who was that? Rodney. Rodney?
No, Bill Cosby said that.
Oh, Bill Cosby. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Save your energy for attacking women. That's what he told him.
And Bill Cosby said, take one of these pills.
no, but he was talking about from what the hell is his name? Rodney. And Rodney years later said, "Who knew?
Yeah, right.
Who knew?
Right.
It was Rodney. Rodney, it was another story.
I know Bill. That must be another story.
What we did, we took the pills and we put them in the pussy with the lay in the pussy, and then we eat it all up." All right, sorry. I
That guy.
apologize. I'm sorry.
That guy, America's dad.
You know, after that happened, you know, as a comic, you jump on that for about a week and you do some bit. Every comic does a bit and then it goes away. So Peter, you always told me it has to be evergreen. Evergreen.
You want your
material
comedy
has
to be evergreen. And that's why I do jokes about Jimmy Carter, because everybody remembers Jimmy Carter to this
You are the
day.
only one in the room that knows who that was. You know the thing about Bill Cosby, they said that everybody in Hollywood knew the whole time what he was doing, supposedly.
Unbelievable.
You know, no, same thing with Weinstein. They all knew it. Just know, you know.
I didn't know it.
How would we know it?
What I didn't know.
We were at Betty's fireside.
Right.
What I didn't know, Jackie's, he was, when he was a little boy, he told the jokes. You always had a joke up your sleeve. I remember this
Is he
guy.
doing an impression?
No. All right, let's go.
Who was that?
I'm
Is
sorry.
that Cosby?
That was just
That's Cosby now.
that was an old guy. That was his grandfather.
Yes, that was old. That was the old guy.
You're making fun.
Eric Haft.
You're making fun.
Did you ever do impressions, Jackie? When you didn't do impressions when you started out, did you?
No. Well, my impressions are, you know, the little old lady in the joke or the dirty Johnny in the joke or the little old man, but that's just my version of them, you know.
I'm not supposed to be interviewing you, but I have to ask.
No,
how many of the jokes that, like the thousands of jokes, you've written a lot of them?
No.
Right? No,
A
you wrote
smattering of them.
some.
A smattering of them. And once in a while, somebody will tell one when I'm playing Stump the Joke Man, or they'll come up to me and go to tell me a joke, and I'll be, what?
Really?
What were the odds? What are the odds? You know, which is fun. You know,
I think it's amazing because as a kid, my aunts, my mother's side of the family were the dirty side, and my father's side were prim and proper. So I'd hang out. I always wanted to hang out with my mom's side, and my aunt would tell us these dirty jokes, and I'm going like, this is the greatest thing in the world because my friends would be there. You know,
they work. They work. You know, like long before any idea of even playing the guitar, telling the jokes, because they work. They're
Well, you two guys have something in common, which is you started as musicians.
and there's music and there's rhythm, right? So there's rhythm to these jokes, obviously.
there really is, and there's structure. There's mathematical structure.
Yeah.
There's somebody just, I know we told this on the air a million times, but somebody said something to me. Oh, they told me the old Albert Einstein joke. And I said, well, you know that Einstein was a big fan of jokes because smart people, I always say this, I don't know whether it's to plug my own ass, but smart people love jokes because they're little problems. It's like given and find in in geometry, you know, you're given this much information, it leads to this, and it's like a little puzzle. And Albert Einstein literally was a huge fan of filthy jokes, which sounded so from out of left field till they had that show on cable called Genius. And the first person they did it with was Albert Einstein. He like married his cousin and he was banging everybody he could. And all of a sudden, wow, so it all makes sense. But his favorite dirty joke was, my dick isn't that big, but I love every foot of it.
Albert Einstein.
Seriously, I've told that on the show a million times. You
And
just
I've
don't listen.
said to you, when Albert Einstein was a teenager and he used to play with himself, what did they call that?
He doesn't know.
I know that. I know this. I think this is on my
I got
album.
it from you.
Really?
When a teenager, Albert Einstein, used to play with himself, they called it a stroke of
A
genius.
stroke of genius.
Oh man!
I had like 8 of those in a row on one of my records.
All right, Jackie.
can't
Then,
remember.
just out of respect for my Aunt Rose, who was the best joke teller before I knew you, of course. I was a little boy. Tell me if you really. You'll tell me if you know the joke, right? I'll give you a very short joke. Yes? Will you? Can I do it?
I will be. You want me to be honest or
Yes.
be polite?
Honest. No, be honest. I don't care. So the 3 old Jewish women bragging about their kids. You know it already, don't you?
Well, it's about 5 different jokes, but I know each of them.
Do you? So I'll shorten it up. The first one says, my son's a doctor and he has 10 boats and he has 3 houses. And the second one says, he's a lawyer and he's so good to me and he takes care of me and he writes to me and he calls and he's got 17 houses and 3 boats. And the third one says, my son
is a homosexual,
No,
and he has
no.
2 boyfriends,
No.
and one of them has 17 boats, and the other one has 3. You know,
No, it's different. So her version is, my son's not a doctor, he's not a lawyer, but he's got a cock so big. 15 birds. Can stand
Then this
across-
was the other version. Go ahead.
15 birds can stand across his penis. And the other ones said, oh my God. And they start to admit that my son's a piece of shit. He's not really a doctor. And the other one says, well, he's a half-assed lawyer. And the third one says, well, since we're being honest, my son with the 15 birds, the 15th bird has to stand on one leg.
Yeah, which is just a great
It's a
joke.
cute joke.
I've
But
never
as
heard
a
that.
little boy, to hear
Oh.
that, can you
Oh.
imagine being a 10-year-old and hearing that from your aunt?
Right.
It was crazy. So.
Ah.
12 birds can perch on his penis.
I
So-
lost. Oh, there I am. I'm back. Okay.
So your mom is still in Florida, and
We're doing an 85th birthday for
Wow.
her.
Wow!
On
Congratulations.
yeah.
That's great.
December 6th is her actual birthday. It's not a surprise because
right.
can't do that. But yeah, she still does it.
Are
man.
you
She still
flying
tells
down there? Or
jokes.
is she
No,
coming-
she's coming to New
coming
York.
up here?
Yeah.
She hitchhiking?
What?
Is she going to hitchhike up there?
Please, no budget. We have
So
no budget.
what's how are you going to celebrate?
We're La Bussola
Yeah.
up in Glen Cove. We do
Right.
comedy shows there. I called him up. I said, listen, can you do it? And he was like, I'm saving the day for you. So we'll have like 50 people, her closest, family, friends. And she's still with it. My mom's still a wise ass, My mom is the best. Like we talk about improv. Yes. And I can call my mother and say, Ma, you're not going to believe it. My dick just fell off. She said, oh, that's terrible. Where did you go to it? She'll go right in.
She'll pick it right
She
up.
will not. There's no question. She's absolutely in the game.
The last show we just did, Fred Stoller's name came up. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I remember.
Fred Stoller came out. I mean, you just made me think of it. He said, yeah, my grandmother made it to her 90th birthday.
Yeah.
And she probably still would be with us if we hadn't given her all those birthday punches. Which is remember that
Yeah.
we used to,
I know. That was a
but that hasn't, they haven't been doing that for 50 years.
no,
have they?
no, but we all get it. We absolutely
He
get
was
it.
so dry.
Oh,
He's still around, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely.
He was great.
Oh,
Dry, awesome.
Yeah, and this is the second time he's got, now we have to make a point. You know what? Let's get a hold of him and get him to come on.
we got to get Fred Stoller on the show.
People don't know who he is. And then I say, he's the guy who couldn't remember Elaine's name in Seinfeld. And they instantly know who he
Yes.
is.
So I heard you guys talking about with your what was
Previous
it? Bobby.
guest,
Bobby
Bobby
was on a
Collins.
couple of weeks
Robert
ago,
Collins.
and you're talking about laughs per minute, right? I agree. It's like in my act, I don't want to hear silence. as a comic, I just don't want it. Like as soon as it comes down a little bit, they're almost done laughing. I'm into my next
Right.
bit.
You want it to trail off to where you're starting from square one, but not it. That's the timing.
I know.
People say, "Oh, this guy's got good timing." It's not time between words. It's time between jokes. Like knowing when to start and when, like when it comes to telling jokes, the art to it is going fast, except when it's a part of the joke that it's information that they necessarily have to make the joke. So you're going Mill Mile but then the guy walked through, the very important information. You got to make sure they swallow.
Got to be clear. It's got to be clear. And I think
and if they don't swallow, what good are they?
I don't like silence either, but I'm used to it.
Yeah, I'll see. That's self-effacing.
I'm self-effacing.
You don't have to do that. It's not like
vulnerable.
everybody doesn't know that.
It's
that's
hard,
true.
though.
That's true.
But is it a new style? I don't know. I think it's just
Bob Hope used to go for 4 to even 5 jokes a minute, so he claimed.
But other people were writing his material. It's different.
Yeah.
It was
that's fine. That was the name of the game.
Yeah, that was how you did it back then, right?
Right.
A million years ago, like people used to be all up my ass because I told jokes, and then they found out I'm reasonably funny, and I started doing well, so they went away. But I was reading about Eddie Cantor in one of those old Steve Allen books where there was a chapter on each of the guys, And the thing about Eddie Cantor was in vaudeville, and then they gave him a radio show, and within 2 or 3 weeks, he had gone through all of his material because people used to go on vaudeville circuits with 8 minutes and last for 30 years. And after a couple of weeks, he was completely out. And his writers got the bright idea, and they went to the library and got joke books and just took jokes that they could twist into an Eddie Cantor story. But that's the art.
It's
the right joke in the right place.
I actually know an Eddie Cantor joke.
Wow.
In the midst of the Great Depression, Eddie Cantor came out on stage and said, nowadays, when someone goes to a hotel to get a room, the clerk says, for sleeping or jumping.
That's great. He was my buddy's great grandfather. He actually put out a little book called Surviving the Crash or the 1920, whatever it was. It was like a story. And that story was actually in the thing. Like, what a crazy time. Imagine being a comic then, but people had to laugh,
Well, I think the timing, though, like the way you're doing it as an art. I mean, you're known for that, and you're known for it because you do it so well. And that's not to stroke you, but I hear people tell me jokes a lot, and you sit there and you want to.
You want to hang
yourself because it's like it's not working the way it's supposed to.
Like somebody will come up and say, "Do you know this joke?" And they'll start telling it, and I'm like, I can't believe you're making a novel out of it.
Brevity is a good word.
Brevity.
Keep it simple, And that's what's beautiful about, like, when you do it right, there's nothing better, really.
It's just fun. Fun.
Where else, Peter? Where are you going with this?
I'm thinking of, when I work with Jackie, when I open for Jackie, people will come up to me and say, do you think Jackie would mind if I went up to him and I told him a joke? And I usually say, don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
And I tell him, of course do it. How do you think I got my act? I've been listening since 3rd grade, and if it's any good, it sticks. And if it's not, it falls off.
Are there jokes that you think you haven't heard?
Of course there are.
Are you really? You've been stumped like recently? Or no?
Yeah,
it's been a while.
All the time, and because there's so many godzillion,
I guess
millions of jokes.
But I like it when it's a one-time thing, and I've said this before on the show, but I can't resist. Stump the joke, man. Jackie brings up women on the stage, and they try to stump him with jokes, and they never do. But this one woman did when she said to Jackie, "What goes up and down with no rhyme or reason?" And Jackie couldn't get it. And he finally said, "Okay, what is it?" And she goes, "Your weight."
Now, this is in the days on the Stern Show when I would go on Nutrisystem. So I'd be 175, and 2 months later, I'd be 200. And then 2 months later, I go on it again. And so that was actually are you old enough to have ever worked Club Benet?
No.
Club Benet was a monstrous mob room with dinner and
I remember.
all cash, and it was like 700 people. And I used to sell that place out, and it was just incredible. And I was killing one night and killing with Stump the Joke, man. I can, like, it's like I'm there, and the guy in the back corner says, "What goes up? What goes down but always comes back up." And this is such an obvious setup to a joke, and I couldn't know it. And he goes, "You fucking wait!" And they were all fans of the show. And I'm telling you, the roof lifted off. It was spectacular. That place, it was a mob joint, and they had all kinds of acts there. And Jay Black from Jay and the Americans was booked for the weekend, and they, it was all cash, and people came in and bought their tickets in advance because they didn't want to miss out on the show. And Tom, the owner, told me this the next time I was there, the week after or 2 weeks after. He said he got a call on Saturday morning. He had 2 shows that night with Jay Black, sold out to the hilt, like 700 people times however much they were paying. And John Gotti had called him up and said, "Listen, I need you to come sing at my daughter's wedding, my cousin's wedding, whatever." And you just didn't say no. And Jay was all wound up, and Tom had to refund all those people's money, and they were pissed off and just crazy. But this is the business we have chosen. But they paid you in cash, in 20s, you go home with a fistful.
In my first year of comedy, and I took Peter's class, everybody,
a chance for a plug. This is Stand Up
You
University.
forgot to plug
I
your
did.
Stand Up
stupid
University
class.
brought to you by
StandUpUniversity.com if you want to start out in comedy right here on Long Island. Eric, we take credit at Stand Up University for Eric Haft. And
I
his
was
success.
stupid. Then they taught me comedy.
Hey, I will give you credit where credit's. It's a great class.
thank
And
you.
people take it 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I, for the life of me, don't know why you haven't taken it. But it's really good. And if you're interested in even doing it for fun, it's a great thing. Give it to your uncle for a birthday present.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
Just do it.
We
Do
sell
it.
gift certificates.
Everybody, there's always one in the family that says, "I always dreamt of being a stand-up comedian."
Right.
Take the class, and you'll actually do it. You'll be a comedian.
And comedians ask me, where do I get my material from? And I can point to Eric. You mine what's close to you. You mine your family. And Eric's family comes alive in his act.
Yeah.
You have 2 daughters and a son.
Mm-hmm.
And
I just realized you started to say something. We both cut
No,
you
no,
off.
it's in my first year, I revered these guys. I finally got to do comedy, and it was after my first show, and we went to a diner, and I was like with Peter, and Peter was, hi, Peter Bells, very serious guy, and we teach comedy, and that's what we do. And this guy coming to the stage is wonderful. Anyway, I revered him, and we're sitting at the diner, and guys start telling jokes. And I told a joke, and Peter laughed so hard that I felt like my heart just sang. I was like, I made Peter Bells laugh.
Wow. I haven't done that yet.
No, but it was like as a Brent, even though I was freaking 40 years old, I started very late in comedy, but I made the guy laugh. So there's something about, these jokes.
actually, I want to compliment Jackie. When you're on, you don't know where I am. I'm in the back watching your act, and I know your act well, and I know the jokes well. I enjoy watching next to somebody because this is what I do when you're coming up to a punchline. It's and I will never get sick of great jokes.
We had a thing at I guess it must have been last year, part of the New York Comedy Festival. They had a fundraiser for Gilbert Gottfried. He had passed away, and it was like 7 people on stage, and it was just people talking, and it was memories, and it was just and everybody was in the audience. That was fantastic. And then Frank, Gilbert's podcast partner, went around with a microphone talking to people that weren't on the dais, because people on the dais were people pretty much of note. But sitting right in front of me, I'm in maybe second or third row, and sitting almost right here with Chevy Chase. And Frank's going around. And Frank came over and said, Jackie, why don't you tell us one of Gilbert's favorite jokes that he liked when you told it? And I told a joke. And whoever it was, I don't know who it was standing behind me. And they videotaped with their iPhone the entire joke. But over my shoulder, you could see Chevy Chase. And he laughed out loud in spite of himself. And you got to move mountains to get that fucking guy to live.
He doesn't give you
It was great. It's like, he was like, almost like, I'll be damned, But it's a great,
it's a cool thing.
We all know there's nothing better than making people, it's great to kill a big crowd. And people always think I'm exaggerating. If I go down to the mailbox and mail a letter or something, and Larry, my friend behind the counter, is there, and I say something and make him laugh, that puts spring in my step. As stupid as that sounds, it just makes your day a little brighter. Forget about making his day brighter, making my day brighter.
Comics do it, though. At the end of it, they do their original stuff or whatever their act is, but it always comes back to the roots, which is those jokes, sitting at a diner and
breaking each other's balls.
Yeah, seeing if we can find a joke that no one's heard. It's not easy, but it's cool.
It is cool.
So,
and they are there.
5 minutes. We got the 5 minutes. We got the 5 minute sign.
Here we go.
From Michael Zinn, our wonderful producer.
Yes,
I want to plug something because Eric and I are in this together.
Thanks.
No, it is New Year's Eve. We're going to be performing together at the Engerman Theater in Northport, right here on the North Shore.
That is one beautiful place.
Yes, it is. And it's New Year's Eve, and it's just a bunch of everyone a funny comic, a really funny comic, and we're all friends. And it's going to be New Year's Eve, and we're just going to go out and do our stuff and laugh.
Now, is that book like by the family that owns it? I mean, it's named for a Marine.
Yes. So John Engerman is he passed away in Desert Storm. He was killed in the war, and they named the theater after. So it's the owner's brother-in-law was John Engerman. So we've been doing. I've been doing shows there for 13 years. We've been producing like these little Tuesday night comedy events, and it's turned into a little thing. And we get about 300 to 400 people on a Tuesday night every month.
Oh, that's great.
And now we're for the first time we're doing it on New Year's Eve. There's a 6:00 show and an 8:30 show, I believe. So go to the website, johnengerman.com. Yeah. Really nice.
Congratulations.
All right. Wasn't that great?
I hate when I first took over governors, we started governors, and I think we started in September of 1981. So the first New Year's Eve, who's thinking? And me and Nancy passed out noisemakers.
I know.
For 12 o'clock. And of course, you go up to start the show. Like what? That's a mistake you make once.
Right.
For once in my life.
Now you see, that is an expressive face. He does impressions. I do some really cool impressions. People don't realize.
I've never realized it.
Jerry Springer.
Yes.
All I do is stand up, and everybody goes, "That's a great impression of Jerry Springer."
Okay.
In my younger days,
Dr. Oz.
No, I don't look like Dr. Oz.
Sure you do.
No, people
with gray hair.
I used to get Father Mulcahy from MASH a lot.
I could see that.
And if you go way back, you oldsters out there, Gopher on Love Boat. I don't know if you remember that character.
Wow.
And I seen pictures of Gopher, and I look exactly. I really do.
Jackie, if you were with Bobby Collins in a room, all these famous comedians, what would be the most obscure joke you would try to tell? Give me one obscure joke that to try to all right, these are the heavyweights. Jerry Seinfeld's in the room.
We were well, you always got to go very, very dirty to move those people. But we did Frank Santopadre's podcast the other day. Me and there's a kid that does Gilbert Gottfried. Frightening. Wow. I mean, frightening. Like when we were doing that thing at the New York Comedy Festival, all of a sudden Gilbert came over the intercom and everybody's looking at each other. And this guy, so him and me and Billy West from the old Stern show.
Oh, wow.
And Frank says, all right, you got to leave us with one that would have killed Gilbert if he wasn't dead already. And I told him, this guy's teaching his grandson how to jerk off. And his grandson says, Grandpa, this doesn't feel that good. And he says, wait till it's your cock.
All right. This is a family
Sorry,
show.
folks. He asked me. You saw him ask me to do that. But that's, you know,
made me laugh.
and that's, you know, that knocks the comics off their seats. It just
I
does.
told
you know.
I've
Jack-
never heard it. It's
I
great.
told Jackie a joke he'd never heard before from a joke book in the 1890s that came out in the 1890s. A couple sitting together on a summer night out on their porch, and the wife is listening to the church choir rehearsing in the distance, and the husband is listening to the crickets in the field. And the wife goes, "Isn't that a beautiful sound?" The husband goes, "Sure is. They do it with their legs."
I don't remember that.
That's an 1890s.
That's wonderful.
Wow.
That's a blast from another 2 centuries ago.
There's nothing better than the old folks joke where the old man sitting on the porch with his wife and he squeezes her hand and she squeezes back. And the next night they're sitting on the porch and he squeezes her hand. She squeezes back. And the next night they're sitting on the porch and he squeezes her hand. She says, "Not tonight. I've got a headache."
Hey, you know what? We're on Strong Island Television.
So are we.
We are. That is the television network that we're on, Strong Island Television. And our show is produced at Paradise Studios right here in Massapequa. And
Chief in charge.
Chief in charge, Bobby Lacera. He's
Bobby
great.
Lacera.
He makes it work here. If you have any video podcasting needs, there are so many studios here, super modern, up-to-date equipment. He can make anything work for you.
It's a great place.
Paradise
great
Studios.
place.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thanks for
was
coming back,
fun.
and we expect you to come again because this flew by.
It was nice.
Flew by.
It was great.
Yes,
Thank you.
Eric Haft, as I said at the beginning, I'll say it at the end, a great friend of stand-up memories and a terrific comedian. And we will be appearing you can see both of us
Yes.
at the same time
Yes.
at the Engerman Theater.
I'm going to come heckle.
Maybe Jackie will come surprise us.
I will come heckle.
One Tuesday, we'll have to have him surprise the
I would-
audience.
I would love that. I'm still waiting for my phone call.
Oh, shush.
13
You're too
years.
big. You're too big. No,
All right.
but now that I know,
That's something I've never heard. Is it in?
I think we're done.
Say
You know
good
what?
night, Dick.
Silent
You know what
night.
song I sing these days when I am trying to have sex?
What?
It's a song by Cher. If I could turn back time.
Wow.
Oh, that's so sad.
I'm shocked that you even know that
That's
song,
so
Peter.
sad.
Holy mackerel.
Wow.
All right. It sounds like you need one last joke.
Romeo.
We do.
Romeo.
Who's got that one last joke?
So give me a subject.
Any subject. How about the subject of divorce?
So a guy's out to dinner with his wife. He says, Sylvia, it's your 30th wedding anniversary. What do you want? A Rolls Royce? A mink coat? What would you like? She says, Barney, I want a divorce. I wasn't planning on spending that much.
I did not see that coming. That's a great joke.
That's awesome.
Mr. Eric Haft has been here.
Thank
That,
you.
of course, was Jackie the Joke
Jackie.
Man Martin.
Hey,
And I am Peter
go to
Bales.
jokeland.com. Come to jokeland.com and come to a show and email me and I'll send you a joke. Jokeland@AOL.com.
Woo!
JOKELAND@AOL.com. Henny Youngman used to run an ad in Rolling Stone and Variety. Send me $1 and I'll send you jokes. And because he had a little tiny pamphlet. And if you sent him $1, you had a pamphlet that exactly fit in an envelope, but only took one stamp. And people would send him $1. And Henny's grandson and his friends were on heroin. And they used to open all the envelopes, take the dollars, and toss the information and go
my.
buy heroin with it.
Oh,
That's such a sad, wonderful story.
Here's another history story to close the show. New York City, early 1900s, ad in the paper. Send $5 to Post Office Box 101, New York, New York. Of course, before zip codes. All the ad said was send $5, Box 101, New York, New York. Thousands of New Yorkers saw that ad and sent in $5. It didn't say what the $5 was for. It just said sent $5. And people thought, well, it's in the paper. We got to send.
That's a
$5.
true story,
That's a
right?
true
I've
story.
heard that story.
And they made a law in New York State that is illegal. You have to state what the money is for if you're asking people to send it, because that's how stupid people can be.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. You know,
And now that's called GoFundMe.
that's exactly, which is exactly right.
That's
You know, at least
exactly-
lie about what it's for. You know,
Now, come on. Now.
I have cancer, or was it my uncle? I forget, but just send some money.
All right, I'm going to request
I have a girlfriend that
just
started a GoFundMe.
What are you? What?
dude, come on. You got a great act in your in your act.
We're
about-
done. The show's
You
over.
were just inspired. That
Yes.
ad lib, the process here. He ad libbed something because he has a great joke in his act about.
Oh, my hair.
Yeah.
No. I said, yeah, that's what I said. I stopped dyeing my hair, because, and now all my friends think I'm dying. And they're like, dude, we started, are you dying? We started a GoFundMe. I said, what are you? My wife found out and she said, you better stop that. That's illegal. They're collecting money. There's nothing wrong with you. I said, I know they're up to $40,000. She said, you better lie down. You don't look good.
That's what I wanted to hear. All right. Eric Haft,
Yeah.
Jackie, the joke man, Martling, Peter Bales. This is the real sign off.
So the wife says, honey, I just took a shower and shaved my cooch. You know what that means? He says, yeah, now the drain's going to be clogged up.
We'll see you
I
next
couldn't let him get the last laugh.
No, you couldn't.
Who's got the last laugh now?
Come again.
We'll see you next time on Stand Up Memories.